Hi, I'm Maria, and today I'm going to show you how I mounted my white cane to my manual wheelchair. Okay, so first of all, the cane I have is pretty specific. It's an Ambutech crook-handled cane. There's the crook handle, and there's the rest of the cane, and it's got a rolling ball on the end. That's so that it doesn't get caught in cracks easily. And it's also so that when I swivel it back and forth, that ball rolls and it's much easier to push back and forth. Okay, now the crook handle, I got that because, well, there's two reasons actually. One, the crook acts as, it stops the cane from going too far to the right because you want it to go out a little bit from the chair but not too far. So it hits against my push rim and stops it from going too far. Also, when I'm pushing, I hit that crook, and as I'm pushing, I'm also pushing the cane. And then I just have to yank on the crook to bring it back for my next push, and then push again. So that's why I have the crook handle. Now the length of the cane is 42 inches, which I know some people are going to say is too short. But when you're in an urban environment and you've got close quarters, you need something that's going to tell you what's in front of you, but is also going to not get stuck everywhere. And believe me, I've tried longer canes and it did not work. I tried a 50-inch cane and it totally got stuck everywhere. So this is why I have a 42-inch. Different people are going to need different lengths, of course, depending on your chair width and your, whether you're in close quarters or not. Anyway, so that's my cane. Now, I mounted the cane using parts from a company called Ram Mount. And Ram Mount makes all kinds of parts that you can use to mount laptops, phones, GPSs, fishing rods, whatever, to bikes, boats, motorcycles, and also wheelchairs. Here's what I did. So I've got one clamp on my white cane. This clamp is called a Tough Claw clamp. Okay, there it is. And at the bottom there's a ball. It's a 1-inch rubber ball. And that ball fits into a socket on a swivel arm. And the swivel arm I'll show you in a couple minutes. But so that's the Tough Claw clamp. And here it is again. Here's another version there that's the same clamp. And it's model number RAP as in Peter -B as in Bob -400U. Again, that's RAP as in Peter -B as in Bob -400U. That's the part number for the Tough Claw clamp. And yeah, so I also have one more Tough Claw clamp, exactly the same size and model, mounted to the tubing on my wheelchair. Just the seat tubing. And I don't know if you can see it here. Sorry guys, this is a blind person taking a video, so hope you guys can see it. So there's the Tough Claw clamp on my seat frame, and that ball at the top is hooked into the second arm of the swivel, the swivel arm. And now I'll show you the swivel arm. Okay, hang on. So, where is it, dude? There it is. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this one here is the first arm. I don't know how well you can see it, but there it is. That's the one hooked onto the clamp that's clamped onto my cane. And the little cap here, the little kind of lever-shaped cap, that's the screw that tightens the socket. And believe me, you want this everything tight. The clamps and the sockets on the swivel arm, you want them all very tight. Even if it feels like you're over-tightening, go as tight as you possibly can, because otherwise they loosen up with vibration and movement, so you want them tight. Once they start to loosen up, then your positioning gets all messed up. So that's the first arm. There's my center joint. That is, that's actually the swivel joint. So That's the part that actually swivels. The one part that's actually supposed to move. And then here's the second arm on the other end of the swivel arm. And that's the one attached to the ball on the clamp attached to my seat tubing. Okay, and I'll show you the swivel arm again. There it is. There's the swivel arm all laid out before it actually gets, you know, bent into whatever shape you need it. And that model number, that part number rather, is RAP as in Peter, dash B as in Bob, dash 200, dash 2U. Again, that's RAP as in Peter, dash B as in Bob, dash 200, dash 2U. Okay.
Pause button. Resume button.
Now, the two places you can get these parts are at, in the US, you can get them at www.rammount.com. That's RAMMOUNT.com. That's in the US. If you're in Canada, you want to use www.gpscity.ca. Again, that's www.gpscity.ca, all one word for GPS City, for Canada, and www.rammount, all one word.com, for US.
Pause button. Resume button.
Okay, now this swivel arm, I had to modify it. First, let me show you something neat about the swivel arm. Once the socket is loosened completely, these arms can twist. So you can put these at basically whatever angle you want, okay? And then this is the swivel. Oops, hang on, let's put it this way. So it swivels like that. Let's pick this guy up. There you go. So now, I actually had to modify the swivel arm because what kept happening, the swivel, as I said, is the one part that you don't want tightened. That center joint is the one part you don't want tightened. So what happened is that with vibration and movement and everything, that screw at the top kept coming loose. So I'll show you if I can. Let's see. Excuse my hand for a second. Let's see here. I'm just twisting off the top screw. There we go. Oops, I'm not sure where that went, but anyway. So once you take off the cap, you've got a couple of little washers in there to keep everything in place. Now, what I did is I used some Loctite. Loctite, by the way, it's Loctite Blue, not red or any other color. It's Loctite Blue. It's a thread locker. Basically, you put a little bit on the screw just to keep it from, once you put it on and let it sit overnight for about a day or so, it will keep everything from moving. Okay, so basically Loctite says it all. It keeps it from moving even with heavy vibration and everything. It'll keep that thing totally still. So because I'm blind, and because I like to try and do things myself, I got the Loctite and everything and found out that it was the runny stuff as opposed to the glue stick type. There are two types of Loctite. And I mistakenly got the runny stuff that comes in a tube that has a tiny little nozzle at the top. So what I did is, hang on here, there's the cap, okay, that fits over the screw. What I did is I stuck that little nozzle just on the inside the top of the cap and squirted it on. Squirted it inside the screw, inside that cap. Then I screwed it on, but I didn't screw it on all the way, maybe about 6 turns, because you don't want it screwed down all the way or it's not going to swivel. So you turn it about 6 or 7 turns so that you've still got play, and this is, yeah. And again, this is my swivel stuff. Bear with me here, guys. Here's my clamp. Here's my swivel joint. Should be right there. So it's got play, it can move up and down. So, you know, like if you're going on a slope or something, the cane still has play to go up, move up or down, and it swivels back and forth. So that's how I did it.
Pause button.